Bro, you keep looking at how far you still have to go and using that distance as proof that you don't have what it takes. But you are forgetting every version of you that survived something you once believed would break you. You do not need more evidence that you are capable. You need to stop ignoring the evidence your life has already given you. You don't know how strong you are yet. And that's the truth, because you've probably been working towards this dream for months, for years, but your life still does not resemble the vision in your heart. You see other people progressing faster and you're quietly wondering whether you missed your opportunity. I'm telling you, you didn't. Eventually, the delayed result becomes a painful identity conclusion, though. You start to think to yourself, maybe I'm not capable. Maybe I'm a failure. Maybe the dream was never meant for me. And in reality, a delayed result is not a verdict of your identity. It's happening, but it's going to take longer than you think. You got to keep showing up. You got to keep putting in the work. And I'm not telling you to exhaust yourself, but there is work that has to be done. You don't know how long it's going to take, man. And don't let other people put their time limit on you as well. So for some people, it takes a year. For some people, it takes 2. You don't know. But as long as you're giving it your all and you're all in, it's inevitable. Your success is inevitable because your timeline measures how long something has taken. It doesn't measure your ability, your worth, or future. It has nothing to do with that. All the failed things that you have done, they really are stepping stones. Just shift your perspective. And I'm not saying there's not going to be anger or frustration or moments of disappointment, but I'm saying you have to utilize all the work you've put in up to this point, because if you don't view it from a positive perspective, it's going to destroy you. If you've already put in so many hours to become the best at what you do and to improve your ability, you have to keep going. Don't let that go to waste, because if you stop, then it will be a waste of time. But if you know this purpose, this dream, this business is meant for you, keep showing up. Use everything you've gone through as evidence as to why you can build this, as to why you're qualified, as to why you have what it fucking takes to go build something of your own. Go build something that's yours. You know, when I first started this entrepreneur journey, I wasn't offered a seat at the table. I was kicked out of it, if anything. There was always distance with the people around me, and I had to make my own plate. Sometimes people that already have success and you're helping them, they make sure their plate is full. They don't really care about the people starving around them. And it's unfortunate. That's why you got to rely on you, and you got to make sure you get done what needs to get done to build your business, to build your dream, because very few are actually going to help you. And once you know your strength, there's nothing that's going to stop you. When you really know how strong you are, you tell the world to bring it. No challenge, no failure, nothing that happens is going to stop you. There was a point where I worked with the medicine ayahuasca, and I had a very, very powerful and enlightening conversation with a shaman in Costa Rica. I was at a retreat there, and I was talking to him about my past alcohol addiction. And at that point in my life, the story that I was sharing with him, I was drinking half a bottle of gin every other day. About 6 months, that was reoccurring. I lost all my friends. I got a DUI. I was cheated on. I felt completely worthless, if I'm being frank. Opening up to him and I'm sharing all this. The shaman tells me a story about his aunt who had been drinking for 40 years and could not let it go. And this question that he asked me made me break into tears. He said, "Roy, do you know how strong you are?" I became emotional because I had never really acknowledged what I've overcame. I had been so focused on everything I had not accomplished that I never honored the man I had already become. We focus so much on our failures, we forget the wins. We forget the moment our back was against the wall and we made it out. Those times that seemed we were never going to make it and had so much uncertainty, yet we figured out a way. Those are the moments that define you. And you can't have those moments without failure. Failure is a process. Failure is the way. Fail fast so you can win fast. Because if you're trying to build something, bro, you can't avoid failure. You can't avoid yourself. You can't avoid all the pain that comes with this journey, because there's going to be a lot of bullshit. There's going to be a lot of mistakes. There's going to be a lot of wrong turns. But if you can hold on through all of that and you keep walking your path, that's the shaman told me as well, just because you love it, because this is what you came here to do, you're going to get there. Success will be inevitable, because you improve a little more and a little more in whatever you're doing. And you learn a little more and a little more. And that's the process. And it's hard to trust it sometimes when you see, again, little to no evidence and you don't know how long it's really going to take. And that's when you start to sign yourself off and you think, again, the dream ain't for you. But that's the road. That's a difficult road. And that's what's going to get you to where you want to be. It ain't easy, dude. You're going to fuck up. but that's okay. I fucked up so many times, man. Like, okay, I'm still showing up, still here on this mic, right? I need you to recognize that you may be doing the same thing. You haven't acknowledged all the things you overcome, right? Maybe you battled addiction. Maybe you went through abuse, whatever hard times or traumatic experiences you went through. You got to give yourself respect for that. You got to give yourself props for that, because that's strength. That's what takes you to success. That's what you lean on in those hard times. Those are the moments that you use to push you forward when you feel like you can't go anymore. There was also a time where my personal training studio collapsed, and I thought this was what I was going to do the rest of my life. I went to get my personal training diploma. I met a business partner there. I was one of the top students, not to brag, but I was giving it everything. I was studying, I was learning, I was showing up to class. It was 4 days a week. I was driving an hour there, 2 class goes in downtown Chicago. I hyped up on pre-workout because I wanted this so bad, and I did it. I got to the point where, and me and my business partner that I met through the process of becoming a trainer, we opened up the studio in a town called Northbrook, and we got to work. I was working 12 to 15-hour days. I had like 13 clients and gave the dream everything I had. I was, again, driving an hour there. It's always a freaking hour away from where I was living, the destination. But I was running on caffeine. I was not going to fail. I was not going to let this dream die. I was so locked in, but I would wake up at 3 in the morning because I had a client to train at 5, and I would get home the night before at like 7, 8, eat, go to sleep, wake up at 3 in the morning. It was a challenge. It was tough, but I didn't care. That was my vision. That was my dream. That was what I wanted to build. And I was going to have many studios. But after a year and a half, it collapsed little by little. You know, you see the red flags, but you try to just hold on as much as you can. And as it failed, I interpreted the outcome as proof that I was a failure. That's what we do. We validate external stuff with how we actually feel inside about ourselves, consciously or unconsciously. And for a couple weeks, I gave up. I threw in the towel. I didn't give a shit about anything. I was eating like shit. I was drinking. I didn't care. Life hit. I was watching Rocky movies and Creed movies and tearing up because I thought my life was over. At 26, I thought my life was over. But here's the thing. The business ending, it didn't erase the discipline. It didn't erase the courage. It didn't take away the strength I already built up. That's the thing. An outcome can end without your potential ending with it. Doesn't mean you'll never build something successful. So many lessons that come with those failures. There's so much growth. That's the only way you can grow, by making these mistakes, by taking in these lessons that come in as failures. That's how you're going to get to where you want to go. But if you let it define you in a negative way, you're fucked, man. I have people around me that just view themselves so negatively, so they view the world so negatively, and everything they do that's quote unquote wrong or doesn't go as planned, that's just more validation, more fuel of confirmation as to why they're losers, why they're failures, why they'll never amount to nothing. And they don't even know how resilient they are. They don't even know how strong they are for what they've gone through and for them continuing to try. So much respect for people that are still in the game, that are still trying because they refuse to let go of what they know is theirs. And as I went through this collapse, the dream changed form, but the person capable of rebuilding it was still there. I still had the foundation that I built from that year and a half, learning about business, learning about marketing, sales, everything that came with being an entrepreneur. I still utilize all that. It wasn't for nothing. I want you to keep this in mind. Greatness is not fame, money, applause, or one viral video. Greatness is how you respond when the results have not arrived and nobody's validating your effort. No one's going to really clap for you, bro. No one's really going to help you get to the next level. A lot of these top cats are looking out for themselves, making sure, again, their plate is full while people starve, and it's messed up. I've seen it firsthand, and that's why you got to make sure you know you can get the job done. You can handle whatever comes in, and you have to know your intention, because if you're only building this business, this dream to prove that you're enough, every delay will feel like rejection. You'll keep validating these false stories, these narratives in your mind as to why you don't deserve it, as to why you're a failure, as to why you're a loser, whatever you think about yourself. And when the work becomes about serving people and changing lives, you gain a reason bigger than your insecurity. All the people that I've worked with, that I've coached, when I show up, I am selfless. I literally show up for them, and I'm really just asking them questions so they can get to their own answers. It's all about them, telling themselves the solutions, the answers, whatever they need at this stage in their life, whatever direction they're trying to go. It's about them. And I share this story with a couple clients about Jesus, how there was a crowd surrounding Jesus, and there was this old lady that was crawling to him, and she knew in her heart that if she just touched even Jesus's cloth, that she would be healed. She was sick. She was ill. She eventually made her way through the crowd and tugged on his cloth, and Jesus could feel it. And he was like, "Who was that? Who was that? Who just touched my cloth?" And the lady stood up and said, "It was me, Jesus. I'm so sorry, but I knew that if I touched your cloth, that I would be healed, and I'm healed." And Jesus said this. He said, "No, ma'am, I didn't heal you. Your faith healed you. You think it's the other person that got you to where you're at, but it's you. You're the one you've been looking for, Neo." Like it's always you who saves yourself, who can fix whatever situation you're in. And dream requires commitment, but it doesn't require self-destruction. Rest when necessary, change the strategy when necessary. Never confuse recalibration with surrender. There are moments where you got to step back, you got to reset, you got to recover, you got to be in the silence. And that's when answers come in as well. I challenge you, bro. Just write down 3 things that you survived that once felt impossible. Choose one promise you can keep today using that same strength. You got to see how strong you are, and then decide one action that you would take if you stop questioning whether you were capable. Do that little challenge. Watch how you feel about yourself, because you reconnect to that part of you that knows you can do it, knows there's greatness within you, knows you're strong, knows you're fucking capable. Let that part lead. Let your heart take you to where you're trying to go. That's the part you lean on, because the limiting thoughts, stories, beliefs come in at the worst times. That's not going to take you to where you want to go. And that's why you got to lean into your greatness. Some possible actions you can do is send the pitch, publish the video, make the freaking call, set the boundary with the people around you, even with yourself. Have an honest conversation with you and the things you have to address and what needs to change. Maybe you got to rest before the exhaustion makes some really bad choices for you. These are just examples, but you know what you got to do. And bro, just know that whether your dream takes months or years, do not let the timeline make you forget who you are. Greatness is not waiting for you at the finish line. It's already inside the part of you that survived and kept believing when there was no evidence. Part of you that had to rebuild. Act from that person today. And if you're tired of feeling stuck, playing small, or questioning what is possible for your life, download my free audio training, Limitless. It will help you break through self-imposed limitations, expand your vision about what's possible for you, and step into the version of yourself capable of building the future you truly want. Download Limitless below through the link in the description, and subscribe and follow along on this journey with me. I would love to have you, bro. I'm still learning, rebuilding myself, and becoming too. We're going to remember who we are and make it there together.